Welcome, everyone. In today's Explainer, we're going on a massive cinematic journey through time. We're going to explore one of the most absolutely fascinating stories ever told. We're looking at how an ordinary monkey, just minding its own business on the African savanna, completely transformed into the most powerful species on planet Earth. We're diving deep into the key takeaways from Yuval Noah Harari's groundbreaking book, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture this contrast for a second. On one side, we have our humble, quiet beginnings. We were literally just another ape, no more significant than gorillas or chimpanzees, just trying our best to survive out there. Now fast forward to the other side, to our modern global dominance. We split atoms, we fly to the moon, and we literally engineer life itself. So how on earth did we bridge that massive gap? What exactly is the secret to our absolute dominance over this planet?
Well, to answer that, Harari breaks our history down into four monumental revolutions: the cognitive revolution, the agricultural trap, the unification of humankind, and finally, the scientific revolution.
What is truly wild here is the sheer scale of time we're talking about. 70,000 years ago, the cognitive revolution kicks off. Then we take a massive jump to 12,000 years ago for agriculture. And then, just 500 years ago, which is literally a blink of an eye in evolutionary terms, the scientific revolution began, rocketing us straight to the AI-driven future of today. It really shows just how fast we evolved once we gained a little momentum.
All right, let's start at the very beginning with revolution number one, the cognitive revolution, roughly 70,000 years ago.
So back then, we actually shared the Earth with other human species, like the incredibly strong Neanderthals. Yet we somehow conquered all of them. Why? Well, it was because of a radical shift in our brains that created imaginary realities. You see, our true superpower wasn't physical strength at all. It was our newfound ability to believe in things that do not physically exist. Think about it. You can't convince a chimpanzee to give you a banana today by promising him infinite bananas in monkey heaven. Only humans can do that. And this shared belief is exactly what allows massive groups of total strangers to cooperate so effectively.
Think about what those shared fictions actually look like in our daily lives. We're talking about myths, religion, money, and nations. I mean, think about the borders of India, or any country for that matter. Those lines don't exist physically in the soil, right? They are a shared fiction we all just agree upon. Take a 100-rupee note out of your pocket. It's literally just a piece of paper. It's completely worthless to a dog or a bird. But because millions of us share the fiction that it has value, we can build entire economies. These imaginary realities are the absolute glue of human society.
Now let's move along to our next era and see how this builds into something completely unexpected, the agricultural trap around 12,000 years ago.
Now, we're all taught in school that discovering farming was our greatest achievement as a species. But Harari suggests something completely different. He says it was actually history's biggest fraud. Before farming, hunter-gatherers were incredibly free. They worked maybe a few hours a day, had this wonderfully diverse and healthy diet from foraging, and just roamed the land. But then, we settled down. Our diets became limited to just a few grains. We broke our backs working from dawn to dusk in the fields. Living so close together in settlements caused diseases to absolutely skyrocket. And for the very first time, massive social inequalities emerged.
And here is an absolutely mind-bending paradox from the book for you. We didn't domesticate wheat. Wheat domesticated us. Seriously, think about it from the plant's perspective for a second. Wheat manipulated Homo sapiens into clearing forests, carrying heavy buckets of water, and pulling weeds under the scorching sun, all just so wheat could multiply itself across the globe. Humanity basically became trapped by the very crops we thought we were controlling. Crazy, right? Moving on to part 3, uniting the world, and the emergence of a growing global society. So despite all the daily miseries of that agricultural trap, our global population absolutely exploded. And as small settlements turned into bustling cities, and cities became massive empires, 3 huge forces stepped in. These forces successfully united completely different groups of people, broke down local cultures, and gave everyone a shared identity. Those 3 unifiers? Money, empires, and religion. Each of them played a massive, almost equal role in stitching humanity together into the global network we live in today.
But out of those 3, money stands completely alone. Money is, without a doubt, the most universal system of mutual trust ever created. People who don't believe in the same God or obey the same emperor will still eagerly accept the exact same gold coin or dollar bill. It totally transcends language, culture, and even deep-seated prejudices, allowing complete strangers from opposite sides of the globe to cooperate and trade.
And that highly interconnected global web sets the stage perfectly for our fourth and final era, the scientific revolution and the incredible power of knowing nothing. This was the massive turning point that officially birthed the modern world as we know it today, and it happened just 500 years ago. That's it. That is all the time it took for us to go from riding in horse-drawn carts to sending robotic rovers to Mars. You see, for tens of thousands of years, humans just assumed that ancient texts, religions, and old traditions already held all the answers to the universe. If it wasn't written in an ancient holy book, well, it simply wasn't worth knowing. But 500 years ago, that mindset completely snapped.
This incredible progression all started with something called the discovery of ignorance. Humans finally boldly admitted, you know what, we actually don't know everything. And that one simple admission sparked a massive boost in science and research. We started observing, testing, and innovating like never before. Capitalism and European imperialism began pouring heavy funding into the science, which allowed European powers to dominate the globe. And finally, that unstoppable scientific momentum has led us right up today, where we are actively dabbling in modern AI and advanced genetic engineering.
So today, we've basically moved from being ordinary foraging apes to essentially trying to play gods. Through bleeding-edge technology, artificial intelligence, and genetic engineering, we are actively trying to overcome old age, disease, and maybe even death itself. We are literally on the path to becoming what Harari calls Homo Deus, the godlike human. We now have the actual power to design the future of life on Earth.
But that brings us to our final and honestly most crucial point in today's explainer. With all this unprecedented power, with all this incredible progress over the last 70,000 years, are we really any happier than our ancient ancestors who were just foraging in the forest? Sapiens brilliantly forces us to look in the mirror. It's an absolutely essential analysis for anyone wanting to understand human history, our psychology, and exactly where we might be heading next. So, what do you think? Has our incredible journey to becoming gods actually made us happy? I'll leave you to ponder that one. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep exploring.